Hi, I'm Adam Drake, and today I'm going to take you under the hood my Mugen MBX8 Team Edition electric buggy. I'll go over some of the hop-up parts that I use from Mugen and some of my other sponsors. We'll start off with the body. This is the JConcepts S15 body for the MBX8 Eco. It was painted by Chris Norlock from DarkSide Designs, and all the stickers, graphics, wing wrap, things like that are from Stick It One Racing. The wing is also from JConcepts. It's the JConcepts F2i wing. This wing's really cool. It has a built-in wicker bill. With the wing on this car though, I have the wicker bill cut off. That's how I normally run it in most conditions. If I'm looking to gain a little bit more rear traction, I'll run the wing stock where it has the wicker bill. But in most conditions, I remove the wicker bill. It helps release a little bit of air and also is better jumping in windy conditions. So I'll just go ahead and kind of run down some of the features and hop-ups that I use. We'll start though with electronics. So I have the Tekin RX8 Gen 3 speed controller with the Tekin 1900 kV Gen 3 motor. The battery pack is from Protek. It's the Protek 5600 milliamp HV battery. And then I control the steering with the Protek 170 SBL servo. I use the Futaba 7PXR radio system with the Futaba R324 receiver. Cool feature with the R324 receiver is it has dual antennas. So you have a standard external antenna, but if for some reason this was to ever get cut off or damaged, there's a secondary antenna that is inside the receiver case. So you're obviously going to have a bit more range when you have the external antenna fully intact, but this way if something happens and the antenna gets cut off, the receiver still works, and just kind of an added safety feature that I think is really cool from Futaba. So I'll go ahead and change the camera angle. We'll take a little bit closer look. Again, I'll go over some of the hop-ups that I use from some of the companies that I race for, and I'll let you guys check it out a little bit more in depth. Okay, so some of the hop-up parts that I use from Mugen would be the carbon fiber 1mm arm plates. I use those both front and rear. I use the Mugen aluminum servo saver top. Part number is E2310. Throughout the vehicle, I have the Mugen NMB bearings for all the 8x16x5 wheel and diff bearings, and then also the 6x13x5 pinion bearings. Inside the diffs, I use from Flashpoint the aluminum cross pins, and then also in the diffs, I use titanium screws from Lunsford Racing. Just have less rotating mass and allow the vehicle to accelerate a little bit faster. As you can see, I also have from Flashpoint some of the blue aluminum washers and then some additional titanium screws throughout, just mainly to make it look nice and also to reduce a little bit of weight. Those are all from Lunsford. As far as the tires go, currently I have the JConcepts Blue Reflex mounted on the yellow bullet wheels that have the DirtTech inserts. Like I mentioned, Protek, we have the 170 SBL servo. This car has the Protek aluminum 25 tooth spline steering servo horn. One thing I want to show that I use to just help secure and make sure that the battery can't slide is it's one of the nuts that's used to capture the pillow ball for the front uprights. But as you can see, I just go ahead and take a screw, secure that, and that allows it makes it like almost the perfect spacing so that even if the straps come a little bit loose, the battery can't slide front to back. With the battery pack, I just use, this is actually a star connector, but it's just basically a copy of the Dean's connectors. I've used these for years. I like the idea of having a connector. That way you don't have to worry about reverse polarity or anything like that when you're just using the bullets. The speed controller I have mounted using the Kyosho gel tape. Ever since switching to this, it's just really helped prolong the life of my electronics. I use it under all my receivers and also under the speed controller. As you can see here, I have the Techno traction drive clutch system. Now, it's very similar looking to a standard 3-shoe clutch. The only difference is the springs actually sit behind the shoes and push them open. So you have to compress the shoes to slide the bell on, and that's what allows you to still use and have electronic brakes from the speed controller. If it had just a standard clutch system where the clutch fully disengaged when you're off throttle, you wouldn't have brakes. Now, if this is something you want to install in your vehicle, there is a little bit of work that you have to do. As you can see, the center diff has been flipped. When doing that, you have to cut the center diff mount, and then also on the chassis, you have to cut a slot for the spur gear for when you flip the diff. I really like using this on outdoor tracks when it gets bumpy, and also when I'm racing nitro, it makes it a little bit easier when going back and forth between the two vehicles. It just has a more similar feel to my nitro cars. Also from Lunsford Racing, we have titanium turnbuckles, front and rear, and then I just have some miscellaneous blue aluminum lock nuts and some washers, things like that, just to kind of dress it up and make it look a little bit nicer. From Flashpoint, we also have the aluminum magnetic wheel nuts. These make it super cool and easy when changing tires. Your pit guy or mechanic, even if he's in a hurry and kind of fumbles, the wheel nut will stay locked into the wrench due to the magnetic feature. Flashpoint bypass pistons that are made by MIP. I have a 2.5 rear sway bar, and that's pretty much it as far as my MBX8 Team Edition electric buggy from Mugen. And other than that, it's pretty much stock. I have just the plastic rear hubs that come in the kit. Yeah, that's about it.